If you're like me, then you spend your entire childhood fantasizing about getting into the film industry to create your motion pictures. Now that fantasy is a lie. If you're new here, in this series, the Indie Filmmaking Journey, I share with you all every chapter of my indie filmmaking journey. Past, present and future. It's simple as that. You know the famous filmmaker stereotype, right? Kid in front of the TV watching Star Wars and fantasizing about creating Star Wars. Yep, that was me too, and I'm sure you too. In my past, at some point, this decision was made. I want to create movies. And that predestined every single action that I took after. I started making shorts with my friends, learning and developing each skill required to create movies. So I was learning it and then later on studying it at a uni, then multiple unis. But I dropped out because I had the chance to work in the film industry. Seems pretty good, right? Now, what I mean by the fantasy getting into the film industry to create movies is a lie. It's not going to happen. It's not going to be your motion picture. Let's say you get a job in the film industry. Pretty cool, right? Yep, except it's not going to be being a film director. And you won't be working on your motion pictures, but somebody else's. And I mean, you know, it's cool, it's pretty cool. Creating a film is teamwork, it's team effort. But hear me out. So, like I said, my fantasy was the same as yours. I wanted to create films. You know, I tried going the traditional way, as you know, learning about it and then studying it at a uni, and as you know, again, dropping out of uni because I could land a job in the film industry, working as a camera trainee in Terminator 6. Back then, it was my dream job. I was so happy, I was so excited. There was one problem though. I wasn't a film director. Now, you can say, that's okay, you can work your way up, that's totally fine. And to that, I would say, my friend, that's true and false. True, some people do. Some of the chosen ones, coming from a prestigious uni, having the greatest connections, having huge luck, and I mean huge luck, that happens maybe once or twice in a century. False. You say you can work your way up. Now, the chance that you can actually work your way up to being a director is freaking small. As a camera trainee, for example, you can after some time eventually become a camera assistant and then later maybe a camera operator. Now directing is a different story. As I was spending 14 hours a day working at Terminator, I was constantly questioning, is this worth it? It was a huge experience, I loved it, and made money, that's for sure. But am I getting closer to becoming a film director? Now, that was my ultimate question. The answer was yes and no. Yes, I got to experience and could develop some crazy skills. No, I won't ever get the chance to sit in the director's chair. And, this is the most important one, I don't have free time at all. I don't have time for anything else except working there. I don't have time for my personal projects. I don't have time to develop other skills. That's it. When you work in the film industry, you work in the film industry and nothing else. Like I said, 14 hours a day. I'm sure you're like, well, some of you work in the film industry and can relate to it. So, what happened after Terminator? I got the chance to work in other big productions. And I was like thinking about it day and night, every single day of my week, trying to come up with a decision. And after some time, I finally made my decision. I turned them down. You probably get the idea why. To sum it up, in my opinion, the likelihood that every single person who wants to be a film director can actually be a film director the traditional way is like freaking small. The traditional way. My advice? Lose this fantasy that in order for you to become a film director, you need to start and continue working in the film industry. Also lose the idea of ever getting the chance to do really freaking big film productions. Now, I mean, I won't say it's never going to happen. What I'm trying to say is that don't fantasize about it day and night. Only a couple thousand people get the chance to do freaking big film productions in a century or in a half a century. You want to create films? Cool. But does that need to be a $500 million film project? So, think outside the box. Think about alternative ways. There's so many paths you can choose. It's crazy amount of paths you can choose aside from the traditional way. A, your crowdfunding. Bing! Channel bing, 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 channel bing. B, being a YouTuber and earning money that way. And C, just doing it in your free time. I made 3 shorts in 2017. Do you know how many I did when I was working in the film industry? But if you spend 14 hours a day in a film set, in a position that's not even close to being a film director, then you can do any of them. In my opinion, just having a general 9-to-5 job and pursuing this dream on the side can be more effective. In further videos, I'm going to dive deeper into those options, so stay tuned. Now, keep in mind, this is just my experience, my opinion on this matter. So, just think about it, ladies and gentlemen.